Guys, what is going up? Or is it what is going down? Well, actually, what is going up is, yeah, like what's up? Like what's going up? See, I asked too many questions. Guys, this is this is your boy Fuego coming to you live and direct from Ground Zero. I just want to go over a few things as far as why Rhythm Reset is so beautiful, why it's the most powerful thing in the game, and why if you're not doing it, you're just going to be another cog in the wheel of chronic pain. Okay, so actually let's just start there right now. So basically what Fuego is about, what I've been about for over, well, it's actually just shy over 7 years, almost 7.5. Okay, so I've been doing this actual routine. Okay, and so what I'm going to explain to you is actually connected to an it's canonology that's connected to an actual physical workout routine. But I've been doing Rhythm Reset now for over 7 years. Okay, it is slowly undoing every bit of chronic pain that I've ever had in my body. Okay, low back pain, knee pain, plantar fasciitis, migraines. All right, and that's just like quasi-static, but mainly dynamic chronic pain, right? And so essentially chronic pain in and of itself is, to me, I mean, it's, yes, you can have acute chronic pain and chronic pain, which is just like this spooky thing that comes out of nowhere. It's cyclical. But for me and our purposes here, we're talking about pain that comes when you're moving, right? Or it's static, right? So static to me could be epidermal, right? It could be on the superficial layers of the body, but most likely you're experiencing something like fibromyalgia, right? Diverticulitis, Crohn's, IBS, static. Now, it's a type of movement, but it's not, oh, I'm getting up and my low back hurts, right? You understand that one? So there's a slight difference. Outside, inside. And essentially, what Rhythm Reset has done for me is systematically undoing all of this stuff here. Okay, now I'm talking about completely alleviating it. Now I want to talk about erasing it because the chance for, the devil to creep in, it's always there, but you have to do your due diligence, and all the blessings and the riches of heaven will come back down to you. So let's get right into it right here. What is Rhythm Reset? Okay, Rhythm Reset is predicated on this idea of tensegrity. Okay, tensegrity is, at its core, is just about fascial tension, but it's about the interdependency of fascial tension. Okay, and so from your heart all the way to your skin, there's a connection. There is a communication, right? If this was like a telephone, for my guys used to play telephone back in the day. Okay, the heart's speaking, right? Or tin can. Yeah. The heart's speaking, and everything in between your most extended part and your most inner part, it's all talking. Okay, and so Rhythm Reset is about integrating the fascial layers. Okay, increasing your, or optimizing your tensegrity. Okay, and so as the heart is worked, okay, and so let's not get this twisted. Rhythm Reset is legitimately a heart workout. And so you're working out, heart tissue's getting stronger, and everything in between, okay, all the way to your skin, is now integrated. Okay, now closer, right, organs, that's, you're still in that static. You're inside the cage. It's probably more like, I consider static chronic pain. Like, it just hurts. You don't even have to move in. It's debilitating. That's how deep the pain is, actually. Muscles, bones, yes, all of that's connected, right, through this idea of fascial tissue, which creates the idea of tensegrity, because fascia is all interdependent. Now, the heart is the breadwinner here, okay? I cannot stress this enough, that very early on, it was extremely difficult for me to get used to the practices of rhythm reset because it was so powerful, because my heart was so weak. Okay, but over time you grow a stamina. You get, more firm, and the heart, right, can now send its prime message, because this is what this is about, is awakening your true form, guys. Right? This isn't some run-of-the-mill bullshit. Like, it's literally going to take you from 0 to hero, right? And your heart has a message that's divine, right? And so your DNA code, I don't even think we're going to get into this here, but your DNA code, okay, literally created the shape of your heart, and you are literally connected directly to God. Okay, so God is actually the one who enlivens the DNA, etc., etc. But how do you think your heart pumps? You ever asked that question in biology? Where does the electrical spark actually come from? Like, who is like keeping cadence with that? Right. That's all divine. But it manifests in the body as a specific frequency. That specific frequency is a sine wave. And that eventually condenses, right? The wave function collapses, and you create matter. That matter eventually grows up to be you. And so what rhythm reset is literally purifying the connection from God directly into the body. Like, this is no holds bar here. And again, the message that the heart has to tell the rest of the body, okay, by way of fascial tension, among other things. Okay, there's a spiritual side to this, and heavy energy work, but just physically, this is the key right here. And so let's move down here, because this is actually just going to highlight this a little bit. So fascial matrix tension is actually at the root, okay, and again, the root of chronic pain, okay. And so fascial tension is really what's going to drive the heart space here, okay, and the power of the heart space as it integrates organs. It's going to tighten up your organs. It's going to rearrange and tighten up your muscles, right? Your bones are going to be like sucked in together, and it's going to be held inside of this connective wave. It's like a medium. It's almost like, ballistics gel, right? That's how I'm getting the image, right? It's like all of that's going to be like just suspended. And so your God frequency is honestly predicated on your fascial matrix tension. Like, how close are you to here is literally going to translate into the body, and it's gonna alleviate low back pain. Who would have thought that God in and of itself could cure back pain in that way? But yes, it's gonna happen. And so the tension is the root, is at the root of system performance, okay? And so the system performance is again even further supported here, right, by blood flow and structure. And so if your fascial tension, okay, here we are, wide gaps, right, wide molecules, loose fascial tension, hypotonic, hypertonic, right? Everything's kind of smaller, scrunched together. This is where we want to be. This is where we are. And so when we are here, right, how can movement happen efficiently? It can't. And so again, we were talking about static and dynamic chronic pain. Your blood flow, that's what I would consider in the static part, right? I mean, yes, it's moving, but it's not an actual full body motion. And so blood flow is inextricably connected to tension, because it's a hydraulic system. It's if you know anything about hydraulics, it's a closed system, and it drives and it runs on pressure. Okay, and so again, organ failure, kidney failure, you're having fibromyalgia, you're having something like IBS, you know, like IBS, that's loose, right? Intestinal tissues just creating issues. And we just happen to call it Crohn's, right? We just happen to call it IBS, but literally it's loose hypotonic fascial tension, right? That stems from poor blood flow. Also, in that dynamic part, if your organs, muscles and bones, right? Let's just actually just stick here, your bones and muscles, if they're not tight together and they're not moving as one and they're just kind of flopping around, what do you think is going to happen, right? That's where you get your knee pain. That's where you get your low back pain. That's where you get your plantar fasciitis, okay? In that dynamic movement part. But I highlight this is because that all stems from fascial tension, right? And the only way to truly build the body is from the inside out, like literally right from the heart outward, okay? And that's how you correct fascial tissue tension abnormalities, okay? And so again, that's what Rhythm Reset does. It corrects fascial tissue abnormalities, right, from the inside out. And oh my God, it's a wondrous thing, guys. But anyway, I just wanted to come on and drop some nugs and see what you guys put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let me know how it smokes. So get back to me if you guys are seriously interested in any type of coaching, right? Because that's the next step, like putting your money where your mouth is and actually letting me show you how to do this, because the exercise routine is no joke, right? But I'm ready. I'm ready to start teaching. Let me know. All right, hit that follow button, hit that like button. We'll see you guys on the other side, okay?